Hi, folks. Riley Evans here with Aaron Lieberman. We're just doing a teaser for our upcoming podcast, The Ocho. And me and Aaron, right now we're going to talk about Thursday Night Football. The Patriots shutting out the Houston Texans 27-0. Was not good for my fantasy pool. I had Lamar Miller.
I fell asleep halfway through the game, and I wasn't even tired.
No.
That's the problem. Last night, big night for Johnny Manziel's PR guy as we made the move to start Gronk, who was our first-round draft pick. There's a lot of talk in the war room as to whether or not we should jump on him, and we did because, he was almost in a porn video, so he's multi-talented and is probably hung. So we went for him, and he put up a grand total. Grand total of 0 points last night for us tonight. So,
and it's funny because the Patriots put up 27 points. Gronk had nothing. I had Gostkowski. It was fine, but I had Lamar Miller and DeAndre Hopkins, who were my first two, my first round and my second round pick, and. They ended up both with more points than Gronk, even though the Houston Texans didn't score at all, which is a little funny.
You can continue to remind me about it. I'm going to sit over here crying because for me, last night was a snooze. Largest running touchdown in quarterback New England history.
Yeah.
The last one was the biggest achievement in a running quarterback since then was probably Tom Brady's 6.0 40-yard dash. So before that, not a lot of highlights in the Patriots running game behind the quarterback position.
I was about to say that the record that he broke is probably 4 yards. So he could have run 5 yards. Still broke the record.
I think last night's game was very representative of a picture I shared today on social media, and it illustrates Bill Belichick as the monkey from Lion King and holding up Brissett like a young cub. Because I think either one of us could play quarterback for the Patriots, we could probably still win. And their defense is suspect at times. I don't really understand how they shut out the Houston Texans. I know we don't really view the Houston Texans, the same way. I think they're a contender. I think that the win against the Bears the first week as a Bears fan was a wash. I think that was an obvious win. But
I don't think any, NFL team that scores 0 points in an NFL game is contender for anything. I don't care who they're playing against. You can't get on the board. Come on.
Are we forgetting that Will Fuller, rookie Houston Texan wide receiver, has put up over 100 yards in both of his first 2 games, and that's playing opposite DeAndre Hopkins, who's also kind of getting to that same level.
It's almost hard to think of AFC contenders at this point, though, because for me, a contender is someone that's I can envision that person being in the Super Bowl. I can envision that team in the Super Bowl.
They took out the Kansas City Chiefs last week. That is a playoff contender. That is an AFC.
They're a contender to make the playoffs. Sure, they'll probably win their division because their division sucks.
Look at what happened with KC week 1.
Yeah.
They went into a very long, heated game with the San Diego Chargers and came out on top. So I think KC is a contender, and for Houston to come into that game and give them the wood, I think I'm a Brock Osweiler believer.
I don't mind Brock.
I think he's a bit of a softie. I don't like how he left Denver. I think he probably should have just stuck around. Any quarterback that's not willing to wait for some time behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time has some ego issues.
And no, it's not even about waiting his time because his time was out. He didn't want to be the guy to follow it. He didn't want to have to follow Peyton Manning and a Super Bowl championship team.
It's a good way to look at it.
And I think he made the wrong decision because you look at Trevor Siemian. He's got the Broncos at 2-0 right now.
I think they almost brought in Uncle Rico to play quarterback. Yeah. He can throw the ball over the mountains, right?
Yeah,
so if you can do that, then you can do anything at all.
I don't know. My thing is, bottom line is we're 3 games into the season now for the New England Patriots. They're 3-0 with a bunch of guys off the street playing quarterback. Are they the best team in the league right now?
I think the New England Patriots are the best team in football right now. I think you look at a lot of teams and their struggle to solidify a starting or franchise quarterback, and New England pretty much shuffles the deck each week and has a new hand. And no matter what that hand is, Bill Belichick comes on top and he always beats the dealer. So I hate the New England Patriots with a fiery and deep passion in my loin.
Yeah,
but I think they're the best team in football. I think that they have a hard time losing, and they're the most well-coached team in this league.
It's interesting because for years the whole narrative has been it doesn't matter who you put around Tom Brady. He's going to make those guys work because they've had so many years where it's been a no-name cast of wide receivers and he's made them, he's got them to AFC championship games. And then the one year where they start out with no Tom Brady, their receiving core is stacked. When you look at between Edelman and Ndola's no joke, and then obviously tight ends on the inside, Martellus Bennett, who's basically an offensive lineman playing tight end, who can run like a wide receiver. And then Gronk, enough said. Yeah. So we can only imagine what that's going to look like when you actually get Brady in there.
So is it fair to say that we should be rewriting the narrative here? Should it be, whoever we put under Bill Belichick versus whoever we put around Tom Brady? Because, if you start looking at it
both. And that's the mark of their consistency throughout the entire like Tom Brady era. Is like there's either been Tom Brady there to help Bill Belichick make these nobodies into Pro Bowl wide receivers, or a bunch of wide receivers where or I guess pass catchers in this case, where Belichick can put any kind of scrub in there. Whether it's like Matt Castle back when he had Wes Welker and Randy Moss, Belichick got those guys to 11-5.
Matt Castle brought the New England Patriots to the playoffs. So.
I know. No, he didn't. They missed the playoffs, but they went 11-5.
My apologies.
Yeah.
You can.
No, if you can believe it, you forget it. The Miami Dolphins won the division that year at 11-5.
Jeez,
yeah.
Sounds like I'm reading a history book right now.
I like to forget that year of NFL football because Brett Favre played for the Jets that year.
Yeah, I can only imagine. That was an interesting decision.
They were 8-8. But anyway, so whether it be that era or this era where they're having this 4-game break without Brady, but you've got Gronkowski, you've got Marcellus Bennett, Julian Edelman. Whenever you've had a quarterback gap, whenever Brady hasn't been there, there's been weapons around whoever Belichick has there. So Belichick's been able to get that guy through it.
Yeah, I cannot disagree with that. Well, thanks, folks, for joining us on our first little teaser here of the Ocho. We look forward to seeing everyone at Algonquin College Room N203, the Public Relations Agency, next week. We'll be doing a live kickoff event here, maybe giving out some stickers, maybe some prizes, who knows. If you come here and you don't win anything, you've won something anyways. Thanks for coming out, guys. Look forward to hearing you soon. Hit us up on Twitter at the Ocho Podcast. Let us know what you want to talk about, or have us talk about, I should say. Eventually we're going to run out of things to say, but I won't get tired of hearing my own voice. So,
and neither will I.
Thanks for coming in, folks.
Yeah, we'll see you on September 29th, Algonquin PR Agency.